You're listening to LunaKage and Mr. You Suck's Unnamed Wrestling Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Unnamed Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, LunaKage and Mr. You Suck. This is Pillow Talk Edition, where women are the main events. We're recording in a new location and can't really be all that loud tonight, so...
Yeah, because I have newer roommates that are literally all like within 5 feet of us right now as far as the room goes.
As far as clipping through walls, 5 feet's probably about it.
Yeah, and we're about, it's like almost 11:30 right now.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much. So
yeah, trying to keep it a little quieter this episode.
This is definitely the Pillow Talk episode.
Yeah.
Not going to be cursing loudly about Randy Orton's work rate.
Yeah, because he's not on this show.
That's true. That is true.
Luckily, this probably won't be super common, considering the only reason we're doing it so late tonight is because we won't have time to do it.
Yeah.
We got Yomicon coming up.
Extra circumstances cause this to be the way it is.
Yeah, we got Yomicon coming up next week. So
next week.
If we were to try and cram a time together within the week...
I literally don't have time.
Yeah.
I literally don't have time.
Not only that, but it would still have to be after I get off work. So.
Yeah, I'm also not going to sleep tonight. I'm actually probably going to be working until 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, and on top of that, he still has to find the time to upload. So it's a rough week for the UWP.
Yes. Anyways, we are here tonight to review Heck in a Kek 2016.
Yep. The PG Hell in a Cell.
PG Hell in a Cell, Heck in a Kek. Lots of talking points going into this pay-per-view, namely the fact that this is a triple main event.
Ooh.
I think there's a lot you can say about that, and that is kind of stupid.
I mean, yeah.
But if you were going to try to do a triple main event in any pay-per-view, this one makes sense because the main event is centered around Hell in a Cell matches.
Right.
So it honestly makes the most amount of sense. If you're going to have 3 Hell in a Cell matches,
call them all the main event.
Then yeah, call them all the main event because that's the whole point of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, we'll discuss the other part later when we get to it, which is which match was going to go on last.
Yep.
But anyways, we do have one pre-show match tonight. It is the Cruiserweight Kerfluffle. Sin Cara, Lince Dorado, and Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Davari. So you missed this because you were in the bathroom, but during the entrances...
If I would have waited another 15 minutes, I could have taken my real bathroom break.
Yeah.
But I did not have...
Oops.
Yeah.
Tony Nese, during his entrance, came out with the He-Man chess piece. And Corey Graves said that he looks like... Was it He-Man and Masters of the Universe? Is that the name of it? He's like, he looks like a master of the universe. And I'm like, oh, Corey Graves, you beautiful. You're too good for us.
He's great. If only he was on the real brand.
Yeah. So Tony Nese is the complete... I call him the complete mobile package. Because he's got a great look, awesome athletics. He's just bite-sized. He's not Lex Luger.
Right.
I know that Drew Gulak is secretly extremely talented, but he needs to put on pants because wrestling in just tights does not make him look good at all.
Yeah.
His look isn't that terrible, but he just looks... And maybe it's because he's standing next to Tony Nese the entire time, but, he just doesn't look that great.
I feel like if you're going to wear the standard trunks, you should be jacked.
Or you should be old enough to get away with it.
Right. Because I feel like, back in the day, it was fine for stuff like that. Because, pretty much everyone wore that. People expected you to wear that.
Yeah.
So it was whatever. Basically, if you're not Stone Cold, even though he was still kind of jacked,
I mean,
but he had a
Stone Cold was pretty damn jacked.
yeah. But like if you're a cruiserweight and you don't have 1 million pounds of muscle
or are cut,
yeah, then you probably should stick to like tights.
Yeah, and even if he had like higher boots and knee pads,
yeah,
it would help break it up. He just looks like a pasty white boy compared to everyone else out there.
Like I didn't like it when Chris Jericho switched to the trunks. I didn't like it when CM Punk switched to the trunks. Although I guess CM Punk's footwear was really good, so it kind of helped make up for it.
Yeah, because CM Punk spent a lot of time in trunks.
He did, but it was basically after coming to WWE, because normally he wrestled in shorts.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Way back in the day.
Anyways, for the action, it is...
Look at my little waveforms down there.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of sad. We're in pillow talk mode.
Not only that, but I already was the lower talker out of the two of us.
Well, I mean, I'm not very much bigger on the waveform, so we're doing fine.
This is a literal dick measuring contest right now. It's like, my waveforms aren't that much bigger than yours. But I mean, hey, 3 inches is a lot. Just ask your girlfriend.
It's the third drop of the night.
I know. You
were waiting all night to say it on air.
I actually wasn't planning on it, but I found an opening, and I'm like, it's got to be recorded.
Gotta go for it. Anyways, the action's impactful and snappy, but the crowd's really not that into it. That said, Cedric Alexander gets a hot tag, and the crowd really wakes up. His offense is great. They do a triple suicide dive spot where Cedric Alexander goes completely over Drew Gulak, just barely grazing him, and Drew Gulak needs to kind of like crumble.
Yeah.
And it was kind of awkward, but funny.
I mean, the hitbox was big enough.
Oh, yeah.
So it's fine. If anything, it was a tipper.
Yep.
And we all know that the tip of the sword is the sweet spot.
Sweet spot.
Yeah. It adds like 23 frames of crumple.
Oh, God. Truthfully. The match devolves into big moves, everybody, which includes Tony Nese selling Cedric Alexander's top rope body splash by jumping into it and then coming down, which is great.
And it looked really good.
So it looks awesome.
I mean, that's the point of the cruiserweights, like especially when your main eventers are pretty much a cruiserweight style nowadays. It kind of makes sense to kind of up the ante on the don't need to tell a story aspect of the cruiserweight style.
Yeah. So your finish is Gulak gets this dragon sleeper on Cedric Alexander, but it's interrupted beautifully by Lindsay's top rope leg drop, and then Cedric turns around and hits a killer lumbar check to get the pin.
And I tell you what, that Cedric, he's quite the entertainer.
You were probably waiting all night for that as well.
Nope, I just remembered it. And
you remembered it because it was something you said earlier. The crowd got very hyped for Cedric, which is a very good look.
Yeah.
And
he's probably going to be the next contender after...
I've heard that they want Tony Nese to be the next, champ.
Yeah.
Because his look is just kind of unfuckwittable.
Tony Nese, which one was that?
That's the really fucking jacked white guy.
Yeah, I don't even remember seeing him.
He's the one that did that really awesome running on the... He was running on the apron, bounced into the ring, onto the separate rope, and then... did a tornado DDT.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh.
White cruiserweights just kind of blend into me. They all look the same.
Well, here's your go by. Tony Nese is the white cruiserweight that's jacked. Drew Gulak is the white cruiserweight that is most definitely not jacked.
And Daivari was the white cruiserweight who wasn't actually white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Hell in a Cell 2016 proper.
Yep.
Our first main event, because fuck you, SmackDown. We're not going to take your innovation lying down.
We're going to put Roman Reigns into our opening main event.
Roman Reigns is in the main event, but he's also the pre-show, which is exactly the kind of statement I want to hear.
He's also the pre-show?
No, not pre-show, the curtain jerker.
Oh, the curtain jerker, okay.
The opening of the show.
I was like, where was he? He was in the cruiserweight match. He was sleeping the whole time.
Oh my god. I gotta get my rest spots in now. My match is up next.
Right.
So Rusev has recently shaved his goatee off and instead gone for the super extended CM Punk lamb chops. And he looks very babyfacious.
It was a really good look for him, though.
And he looks very babyface. He looks very, very different as a human. Much younger. Roman comes out and gingerly shakes the cage to test its strength. And boy, does it look wobbly.
Yeah, it does.
Both men early on get dueling John Cena chants. The match is really slow building. Lots of like overly forceful whips and running splashes that are, like it's trying to tell you that there's more force behind these than they are.
Yeah.
But there totally isn't. That said, the crowd is really into this match for some strange reason.
Yeah.
Like the crowd was definitely like awake for all this match.
We got it's probably because it was the opener, so they were kind of hype. But we got John Cena chants for Rusev.
Yep.
Let's go Rusev. Rusev sucks.
And then we had, like 5 minutes later, we got John Cena chants for Roman.
It's kind of funny because like Rusev is the heel variant, where it's like people want him to be babyface, but they won't turn him babyface.
Yep.
So that's where his mixed reactions come from.
Cole continuously botches calling Rusev and Roman by their correct names, instead getting them switched because words with R's are too hard for him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Roman beats on Rusev with the kendo stick. Then Rusev ties up Roman and hits him with the kendo stick in the chest. And, it's not like he's got a vest on or anything.
Right.
Protected. Yeah, I know. Rusev stops a spear with a super kick and throws him headfirst into the steel steps he previously placed on the top rope. Roman kicks out, however. Rusev gets an unsuccessful accolade and starts beating up Roman with a steel chain. Rusev puts the steel steps in the ring, puts him in another accolade with the steel chain square across his mouth.
And then Roman tapped out because that would be a great idea.
But Vince is booking. And
no.
Roman powers out, gets a Samoan drop on the steps, runs off the steps, and gets speared for the win. The match was really slow and plodding. Roman powering out of the amazing chain accolade spot was terrible.
Awful.
The crowd was really, really, really into it, so it wasn't like, it's like all's well that ends well, but like the steel steps, the steel chain across the mouth accolade, like, it's not that I'm mad that Roman kicked out. Mm-hmm. I'm mad that anyone kicked out because that's obviously like something that needed to be the finish. Like you can't do a spot like that and have it not be the finish.
Tool assisted moves usually imply that they're like hugely more powerful than the move itself. Like, if Cena were to strap in a chain during the STF,
oh god,
his opponent's tapping out. If Cena were to fucking do an AA onto the steel steps, the opponent's not kicking out. Mm-hmm. So it's like the fact that he ate the chain and he was held in it for like a solid minute from what felt like.
And like his mouth was open and it was across his mouth.
And he still powered out. It's like, it's infuriating.
It was really infuriating.
Like WWE Creative Humor said.
Yeah.
Rusev shoots Roman with a bazooka, only gets a 2 count. It's ridiculous.
It's like I get the idea of having something for your babyface to power out of, but that's a little too much.
The only 2 wrestlers where something like this would work, I think, would be Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. Mm-hmm. Dolph Ziggler, not so much with the hardcore elements, but seeing him kick out of crazy shit because that's his gimmick. He's a fucking cockroach, right? Can't get him down. That would have been fine. Dean Ambrose, like that, except with hardcore shit.
Yep.
Him eating the chain and then finding a way out, that would have been cool because that's a part of his character.
Yeah.
Roman being a Superman, it seems a lot more forced than it is a part of his character.
It's just like, I'm Roman, not getting power out of things.
Right. Man, feels like it's been a while since we bitched about Roman. That felt pretty good.
Yeah, it did feel pretty good. For the record, a lot of the crowd was in the Roman.
Yeah. They were pretty high pitched.
They were pretty high pitched, and there were still boos in the background from people who had testicles.
It's kind of funny because like it was a perfect blend musically. Mm-hmm. It's like you had the boos being the bass, and then you had the highs and mids being the shrill cheers from the women and the kids.
Yep.
So it's like we had a full had a full composition.
Full equalizer.
At this point, it should just be Roman's theme. Really.
Honestly.
Like, whenever he shows up, it should just be that perfect composition of boos and cheers playing through the Titantron.
Wonderful.
That way, it doesn't matter what reaction he legitimately gets, because we hear what it is on the Titantron.
Oh, of course. One less job for audio production to do. They don't have to pipe in or mute anything.
Yeah.
Next matchup is Bayley versus Dana Brooke. And the match is already good because they gave Dana Brooke ring wear that doesn't look like steaming dog shit.
Yeah. Dana Brooke was looking pretty good.
This match was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
it helped that it didn't last very long.
It didn't last very long. Dana is spending the entire match working over the injured shoulder. Bayley is selling the injured shoulder like an incredible wrestler, because she is. It makes Dana look like $1 million, and it makes Bayley look like she's injuring herself every time she does a running elbow or a top rope diving elbow. And the only complaint is that the ending kind of just came out of nowhere and you were done. But for what the match needed to be, God, it was great.
Yeah.
It's Dana looks great because Bayley made her look great, and everyone goes home happy. Bayley got the Bayley to belly in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
took it home.
Everyone gets to go home, except for Goldberg.
Nope.
Who doesn't?
Nope. You're here forever.
You're here forever.
Enzo and Cass versus Gallows and Anderson. Enzo and Cass get probably one of the biggest pops of the night, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, it's a massive pop. Yeah, so it is a testament to show that they are still riding high.
Which is great, because their promos have not dropped in quality.
No.
I feel like, I want to say that the last Raw pay-per-view I don't think had one. Did it? Because I don't remember. I feel like it's been a long time since I heard an Enzo and Cass promo, because I don't watch Raw, so...
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they had a match, but I can't remember why. I would think that... Anyways, they have a promo that is very erratic, and you kind of need a roadmap to navigate your way through it.
It was good, because it always came together.
But it came together
like,
again.
I feel like if a normal Enzo and Cass promo is an arcade game, this one was the RPG equivalent.
Yeah,
because it's like you had some side quests, but eventually you get to revisit those old areas, and then it all comes together and makes sense. And I like that, because that shows there's more depth to their promo work.
It was really
set up and punchline.
It was really intuitive. A lot of what they said circled back on itself in the very end, and it created a very, very good punchline.
It was really good.
Great spot early on where Cass tags Enzo. Enzo comes in, taunts Gallows, and then Enzo and Cass do the Air Enzo spot, but they spin around and hit Gallows because obviously he just got taunted, so he's going to charge into the ring and try to attack. So they just spun around and hit him.
It was a great read.
It was a really great read.
It was a great read. It was a burst bait right there.
Yeah, the burst thirst was real. Cass gets a hot tag and gets a very extended spot, just fucking murdering Enzo and Cass. Like, he was in there hot tagging, cleaning house for like a while.
Yeah.
Enzo tags in and puts his own offense, but Gallows gets the big boots to connect, which sets up the Magic Killer for the win.
Which was great, because they finally have a win now.
Yeah, Gallows and Anderson finally get a win.
And like, Enzo and Cass losing
doesn't hurt them.
Doesn't hurt them at all. They're gonna be absolutely fine. Like, their whole gimmick is not being giant killers.
No.
So we need the giant killers to start getting more fucking wins.
Yeah, it's the more I think about this match, the more that it really, really was nice that Gallows and Anderson got the win. It felt weird at first because I was like, "Oh, what's happening? They got a win? I don't see that every time."
Yeah. Hopefully they keep it going.
Yeah, truly. You just need more tag teams down there for them to kill. That's the problem. Yeah. You just don't have enough teams for them to go over.
Not ones that matter, at least.
Exactly. It's like I almost want like Gallows and Anderson to sneak into Smackdown, just like go over Tyler Breeze and Fandango and go over Vaudevillains and go over the Ascension.
I really do feel like SmackDown has all the tag teams.
They do. They have like 4 tag team jobbers.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, spread the love.
Right.
What's Raw got right now? Raw, all your tag teams are too important.
Yeah,
You've got... Well, we'll get to them later, honestly. But the problem with Raw is that your tag teams are all too important.
And there's not enough of them.
Nope. Well, speaking of... So, I thought we were going to get something with, like, Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn tonight, but we didn't.
Well, that's weird. I just realized that.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it, because when I was thinking about tag teams, you had Kevin Owens and Jericho as a faux tag team, and then you had Neville and Sami Zayn as a faux tag team.
Yeah.
And then I was just thinking, I'm like, well, I thought we were supposed to get, like, Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn or something.
Maybe that's just a setup for Survivor Series.
Probably.
Because now we have a whole month of a build.
Yeah.
And that means SmackDown is going to go a whole 6 months. 6 weeks in between a pay-per-view. So
it feels good.
Yeah.
With how busy I am, I'm like, thank God.
Yeah. Although,
thank the Lord.
It's going to be kidney stone season. So
oh, yeah. Sorry, Holmes.
I got fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, it's about that time. Next up, we have the second main event of the night. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins cell match for the Universal Championship. Match starts and Owens immediately rolls outside and looks under the apron for a weapon. Seth has 2 strips of the injury tape on his back, so if we don't see his back as a storyline, I'm going to get mad. But thankfully, Seth gets a strong Irish whip in 2 sentons against his back, and they immediately start selling it. Owens brawls to the outside and pins him against the cell to peel the tape off Seth's back. Unlike the other match, where using the cell seemed kind of obligatory, Owens and Seth do a really, really good job selling the cell as a deadly weapon. That's the thing I thought this match excelled at over all the other matches was this match made the cell feel like it was a deadly weapon instead of just being a cage that kept you in and there was no rules and a bunch of weapons.
Right.
The cell felt like a weapon in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, the last match did it pretty well, of course, as well. But this match, I felt like they did it so good. Owens slams Seth into the cell with such brutality that it feels way more impactful to this match, especially when he does a cannonball into it.
Yeah, which was required.
Oh yeah, that was if you can't go home without doing that one. They get back inside and they go through a A+ Ring of Honor sequence. It was super kick, trade, super kick, trade, enziguri, trade, rebound clothesline, and then everyone sit out.
Yeah.
Good shit. Owens sets another table over an ankle table, which you're just waiting for. It's a big tease. He hits Seth with a fire extinguisher and then accidentally sprays the ref in the face with it.
Accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally. This sets up the spot where the doors open to get the ref outside the cell, and then as soon as the doors open, Jericho bolts down the runway, gets in the cell, locks it back up.
But surely he's just there for moral support.
His best friend's in the cell.
Right.
It's a terrible place.
It must have killed him.
Oh my gosh.
To have to be backstage.
He was backstage crying, sweating. Seth sets up for a pedigree. Jericho interrupts and gets pedigreed instead. Owens tries for a powerbomb but gets reversed. And Seth deadlifts Owen into a powerbomb and through the 2 tables, which was fucking nice.
Yes, it was.
Oh my god, it was nice. Seth does the 5-star frog splash, but Jericho pulls the ref away, and we get chair shots galore to the end of the match. Owens and Jericho are beating up on Seth. Seth's beating up on Owens and Jericho. Owens gets control back and finishes off Seth by setting up 2 seated chairs and then powerbombing him through both of them.
Yep.
Good finish to the match.
Yeah, and a tool-assisted finishing move.
Exactly.
Actually finished it. Now, if that would have been Roman, probably would have kicked out.
Roman would have kicked out.
Probably would have.
And this is exactly what we were talking about with the other matches. When you have a spot that is so specific like that to the match type,
right?
You can't not have that be the finish.
Yeah. So it just really... Because, I mean, if you wanted to be a douchebag, you can say that Roman's spear was also tool-assisted.
No.
But that's really stretching it. Kind of like he was getting stretched by that chain.
Yes.
Which should have been the finish. And he was on top. He was on top of the steps too. Yeah. Though I guess like that
does nothing.
That does nothing. But in the context of kayfabe,
yeah,
it adds like fucking a bunch of damage points.
Yeah. And like wrestling logic, it does. If you think of it in kayfabe, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
You're just on a platform,
right? Which
looks cool. And that's the point. You take the kayfabe out of it, just looks
I mean, I
cool.
guess technically it makes it a little more uncomfortable because it's metal instead of nice little padded canvas.
If anything, it makes it more uncomfortable because your lower body is at a lower angle when you're being pulled up. Because his legs are draped down the steps.
Yeah.
I mean, we're reaching at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
I was watching a video What Culture Wrestling put out like right before this. It's like 10 worst Hell in a Cell matches, and one of them was the Sheamus Randy Orton match. And they highlighted the fact that Sheamus took the steel steps into the ring and then did an Irish Curse backbreaker. And that's what I feel like I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a way to make the accolade on the steel steps, not the Irish Curse on the steps, in terms of silliness.
I mean, like, that is super silly.
That's super
silly. Because if anything, you're hurting yourself more.
It's hysterical. But the Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins match was fucking incredible.
It was.
That match was unbelievably good.
Fucking, the women had a lot to fucking top.
The women, there was... That match was definitely like end of the, even though it was fucky as all get out with Jericho being in there, like it still felt like an unbelievable main event match.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
No.
And that as soon as this match was announced to be going on, we knew that it was for sure that the women were going to main event.
Yep, the women main event to the pay-per-view.
So that's why we're having pillow talk tonight.
Yep, because the women...
We're doing it for the ladies.
The women are the main event.
This is going to be a lot of women this first episode of our podcast.
That's maybe we'll break double digits on this.
Maybe we'll break double digits.
Maybe we'll break double
digits. You got to get Haley and her friends on it.
Yes. Yes. They're going to be like, when do they talk about anime video games and not wrestling?
I mean, we do that sometimes.
We do that.
We do that sometimes.
Next up is your Cruiserweight Championship for TJ Perkins and the Brian Kendrick. This match was dead the entire time, which is fair because it had to follow the other match.
Yeah.
There's a spot where Kendrick tries to unravel TJ's hand wraps and tie him to the bottom rope, but he can't do it fast enough, and so the ref's counting him, and he's got to stop. And TJ puts his hand over the hand that's on the ropes to cover up the fact that it's totally not wrapped up.
Right. It was kind of a dumb spot.
It was kind of a dumb spot.
Period. Even if it went right, it would have been dumb.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he escapes, right soon thereafter.
Plus, it's just tape.
Yeah.
It's not literally handcuffs.
No. TJ dives to the outside with Kendrick, and a crowd member yells, "Get a fucking haircut, hippie." And the censors didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Now, at some point during the fire extinguisher spot in the Owens and Seth, they did bleep something out. Yeah. So I don't know what that was, but they were sleeping at the wheel for this one.
Yeah, they were. Because there's a 5-second delay, I think?
It's a 5 or 7 second delay.
Yeah.
TJ hits a falling GTS looking type thing called the detonation kick.
I liked it. I liked the name a lot.
The name's cool, the move's cool. I'd like to see more of that. Brian gets a denied sliced bread attempt and crumples on landing. We go into an extended ref check for injury spots. TJ comes by to check up on his friend, gets suckered into a Captain's Hook submission, and taps out to give Brian Kendrick the belts. Match was good, but the crowd was dead, and they went even deader when the injury spot happened.
Right.
It killed what little build the match had.
Yeah, you can't really blame the crowd for that one.
No,
though.
you can't. Sheamus and Cesaro versus the New Day for
the newest of days.
The newest of days for the Raw Tag Team belts. Sheamus and Cesaro are backstage getting a little too close for comfort.
It was great.
They're backstage. They're like, "Oh man, we're doing so good. Yeah, I love you too, but love you too. Yeah." And then they mention like the one thing that someone forgot to do, and they're like, "Yeah, well, fuck you. You forgot to do the rental cars. Yeah, well, fuck you. You forgot to pay for those cars. Yeah, well, fuck you. You always seem to have your ball missing when it comes time to pay the toll.
Right.
Well, fucking hell, you just
It was great.
Yeah, they're going at it. It's very entertaining and very funny, and apparently they haven't had like a losing record. They've been winning all their matches, so it's kind of it's silly in a sense, because this is the point I was going to make when we were talking about the other tag match. Raw has too many tag teams that need to matter, and now you've added one in that has like a win streak and needs to matter more.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, shit. Who has to? Like, you don't have people you can go over right now.
Right.
You need to have people that matter just ever so slightly so you can go over them. Because right now, there's nobody for you to go over.
Right.
So, New Day will not be losing because they haven't beaten Demolition's record yet. I'm being honest.
God damn it.
Shit's true. And I mean, like, more power to them.
Yeah.
They deserve to have that record broken. The New Day come out for their promo. They put Cesaro over and they bury Sheamus. Pretty standard fare for most of the match. Xavier gets isolated. That's right, Xavier is wrestling.
Yep.
Xavier gets isolated. Sheamus and Cesaro reluctantly share offense. Big E gets a hot tag. Xavier gets isolated yet again. Sheamus and Cesaro get their signature moves off. Big E and Xavier regain control and set up for the midnight hour, but Sheamus runs in to break it up, accidentally brogue-kicking Cesaro in the process. Sheamus saves the match twice thereafter by breaking up a pin and rolling in Cesaro back to the ring to break the count. Cesaro catches Xavier in a beautiful reversal into a sharpshooter as we go to the ending. Big E and Sheamus squabble outside. Sheamus hits Big E with Francesca too. Kofi gets mad as hell and hits Sheamus with Trouble in Paradise, which the ref sees.
Yeah.
So the ref calls it and calls a DQ finish as Xavier's tapping out to the sharpshooter. And we have a really good finish to the match.
Yeah.
So the New Day lose off disqualification, get to keep the belts. Cesaro and Sheamus are technically still on a win streak.
Yeah.
And everyone walks away looking good. So yeah, I'll take it. And finally, the main event we have all been waiting for.
And we're already to the main event?
Yeah. No, there was not that many matches on this. Let me count. There was
they
only
just
like
all went really, really long.
Yeah. Rusev, Roman, Bayley, Dana Brooke, Enzo and Cass, Gallows and Anderson, Kevin Owens and Seth, TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick, Cesaro, Sheamus, New Day, and Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Yeah. It felt much quicker for some reason.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing, because normally these pay-per-views kind of drag 3 hours, but this felt very...
And I feel like it's been a while since we've done an hour and a half show. We might not even break an hour for this one.
No, which is fine, because I got a million pounds of work to do at home.
Right.
But no, like, this pay-per-view flowed very, very well. It never felt like it was dragging. It never felt like it was wearing out its welcome. So, like, I'll take it.
It was a cute little thing.
I know, it's adorable.
I love it.
I'm still going to have Raldit as my starter.
I mean, well, that's cool.
I know. It's a hard choice. They're all 3 starters for Sun and Moon are good.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised, too. It's been a while since they're... Well, I mean, I guess I liked all the starters for Gen 6, too, but it took a minute for Chespin to grow on me. I didn't like him for a while.
So, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Hell in a Cell match for the Women's Championship. And we get Mania entrances.
We do.
We get Mania entrances.
They pulled out all the stops for this one.
Oh my god, that was great. So Charlotte comes in on a throne held up by 4 Roman soldiers. And then Sasha gets her Cadillac entrance. So Charlotte blindsides Sasha and throws her outside of the ring as the cell's coming down. So they actually start on the outside.
Yep, they have to stop the cell because Sasha would have gotten smashed by it.
Yep. They spill outside, brawl in the crowd, come back to the cell, and Charlotte begins to climb. So Sasha climbs to meet her, and Charlotte drops down, gets into a powerbomb formation, and powerbombs Sasha through the announce desk.
Yep. A table spot.
Yep.
In a women's match.
And they sell this like hot death. We go through a 20-minute injury spot where the refs are trying to escort Sasha to the back. She's falling over. They get her in a neck brace and on a stretcher. And this is good because we didn't have a cool down dead spot match. We had the tag match go directly to the women's. But this is fine because we had 20 minutes to cool down as we went through this injury spot. So it actually worked out fucking great.
It was literally cool down.
Yeah, and this pay-per-view still went like 20 minutes over. So like this was a long pay-per-view, but it felt very, very nicely paced, despite that. So JoJo's in the ring with Charlotte, and she is in the process of announcing Charlotte the new women's champion when Sasha busts out of the stretcher, tells everyone to fuck off, and hops in the cell. The cell gets locked up, and the match is started. And Charlotte starts off by doing a killer monkey flip into the cell wall, and I'm pretty sure they showed a second angle slow-mo replay so that the people at home could tell that Sasha wasn't actually dead.
Yeah.
Because it looked like she probably just landed straight on her head.
Like, Sasha lands with her neck being bent in different angles every match.
Every match.
Really nervous.
Yeah.
Really nervous.
It's like... It's taking me out of these matches because it's like, oh, these matches should be good. Did Sasha just die?
Right.
The action is quick.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot louder when we're doing pillow talk.
Yep. The action is quick and fierce. The chops and slaps are loud and meaty. Almost all the striking is stiff. They're laying it in for this match, which is good because this match was the match to do it.
Yeah.
This is definitely the match to do it. Sasha hits a full-speed suicide crossbody dive and a chair tease that ends in Sasha repeatedly driving Charlotte's face into the chair. Then Charlotte sidewalk slamming Sasha over it. Back being broken. Definitely lots and lots and lots of selling for Sasha's back.
Oh wait, you hear that?
That's
the sound of my air kicking in.
That's the sound of air conditioning.
We have air.
How very wonderful.
I whisper louder than I pillow talk.
You do.
That's funny. To me.
Yeah. The story of this match is all about Sasha's back. They're constantly working it over. She's constantly selling it. It's great. Sasha takes offense with jumping and clinging to the wall, and then Spider-Man rebounding off of it to do a flying knee press. Looked stiff as hell. You can see in the replay that Charlotte pretty much took it on the chin.
Yeah, I thought we might have had a bloody nose for a second, but I guess we didn't.
Sadly, we did not.
Sadly? I don't know about sadly, but I guess it would have been nice to see blood.
I feel like this match could have used color.
It would have been really sick for the first female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I didn't think about that during the match, so it means the match was fine without it. But
definitely.
If this could have got some color, this would have been like, fuck.
Yeah, I guess Sasha's hair was the most red we really needed.
Yeah, honestly.
It gave the illusion that there was blood.
It did. It honestly did. Sasha takes the offense with more knee presses against the cell, rolls Charlotte back inside the ring, does the three amigos, and then finishes off the Eddie Guerrero sequence with a frog splash.
Yep. So we had 2 frog splashes tonight.
Yep.
One that was reminiscent of Eddie, and one that was supposed to be for Eddie, but was more reminiscent of RVD's.
Yep.
Because he had, when Seth did it earlier in the night, he was actually parallel to Kevin Owens.
Yep.
So he had to turn mid-air, which was really common for RVD's version of the frog splash.
Mm-hmm.
So now even though there technically wasn't a distinction between the two. It was just a different... God damn it. Why now?
I don't know.
No one ever loves me until I'm doing something.
Turn your damn ringer off, homeboy.
Fucking son of a bitch. It's the same guy, too. He's like, check out my beats. Look at my mixtape.
Yo, Pete, my SoundCloud fam.
No, it's one of my coworkers from work.
Okay.
He's a young kid who's an aspiring producer and rapper. And he wants me to play on, like, every track.
Obviously.
Which I would do, because I don't have a problem with that.
Not me neither.
But
someone asked, I'd be like, hell yeah, get me on there.
But what the fuck?
He's blowing up Pillow Talk time.
So what was I saying?
You were saying that the distinction...
The differences, okay. So even though there technically was no distinction between RVDs and everyone else's frog splashes, except RVD sometimes had some, I don't know. But anyway, now I basically just call any frog splash that does that turn midair a 5-star frog splash.
Yeah.
Because RVD did that a lot. So I just call it that.
Based RVD.
Based RVD.
Based RVD.
Based RVD.
Charlotte regains control, pulls out a table to tease a second rope superplex onto the table from the outside, which would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But Sasha just kicks her into it in a rather unimpressive manner, and the table kind of doesn't break. Sasha pulls out another table, and Charlotte sets it up in the ring. Charlotte gets Sasha into the figure 8, but Sasha is able to wiggle her way into a chair and just lay in hits until Charlotte gives up.
Yeah, the first hit was really ginger because she didn't have any leverage on it.
Yeah.
And the consecutive hits?
Then they started going in.
Damn. Like, and they weren't flat shots to the back either. Like,
they were to the tummy.
To the fucking elbow and shit.
Yeah, it's kind of cracked her across the hip at one point. After a large segment of offense, Charlotte lays Sasha on the table to tease a moonsault into it, which we don't get because Sasha counters and sets the table on the opposite end for a running buckle bomb tease, but we don't get that either because her back gives out trying to do it, which is good because commentary speculated that she wouldn't be able to do it before she tried, which is just like good call commentary.
Yeah.
Charlotte tries to throw Sasha through the table. It doesn't break. Charlotte tries again. It doesn't break. And then Charlotte hits natural selection for the win. I feel like going through those notes, the match sounds a little lamer than it was. But that match was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But the finish just was a little lacking.
Right.
And when you think about it, their table spots across the board were not great. Because kicking Charlotte through the table didn't work. The teases for the tables were amazing, but you never got anything off of them.
The power bomb was good though.
The
power bomb through the announce table.
Yes, that was good.
Really
that was
good.
Clean as shit.
But after that, you got to realize you're working with much lighter individuals than they're used to.
That's why I have issue with the ending, because the ending being Charlotte throwing Sasha through a table. Yeah, you're gassed at half an hour in. You're dealing with someone who weighs 130 pounds at most.
Not only that, but that kind of throw through a table at that angle sometimes doesn't even break with full.
Yeah. It was like the wrong angle, the wrong type of way to break it. It wasn't going to work. And Sasha hitting the table and rebounding doesn't look impactful.
Yeah.
So it's like you teased these really big table spots and you needed to go home with one of them.
Yeah.
But other than that, for the first women's cell match and the first main event for a pay-per-view with women, it was, I'd say 8 out of 10.
It was a really good match. Really good match.
So yeah, that's Hell in a Cell. This pay-per-view gelled really well.
Yeah,
I don't think it was amazing, but it was definitely above average.
Yeah, it was a very serviceable pay-per-view.
It had a really good flow.
Yeah.
It just flowed super nice.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we were suffering through it.
No, there was no 20-minute authority promos.
I feel like it's been pretty consistent like that after the brand split.
I know, because like both SmackDown ones have been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then both Raw ones have been above average.
Yeah, like average at worst.
Yeah, average at worst. What would you say is the worst one out of the 4 we've had so far?
The Raw pay-per-view that wasn't this one.
Night of Champions?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Like, I think this one was better than Night of Champions. But the Smackdown one's definitely top.
Oh my god.
Both of these.
Yeah, Smackdown ones are way better. And so that's kind of it. There's not a whole ton to really talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of it would have been us talking about what, like, them not putting the women on or anything like that, but they did the right things, and that means there's really not much for us to bitch or complain about.
Right. Like, when we're happy, it's hard for us to make a living.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see you guys in Survivor Series. I mean, and besides, it's not like we're going to get a ton of conversation off of Pillow Talk Edition.
Pillow Talk Edition.
And I've got 1,000,000 pounds of work to do at home, so if you excuse me.
Our next one will be Survivor Series Kidney Stone Edition.
Kidney Stone Edition.
Dude, one of these is going to be done when I'm fucking recovering from a kidney stone. It's going to happen. And it's going to be Survivor Series.
Yep. Well, I pray for a quick recovery through kidney stone season.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Go inside. That'll be it for us tonight on Pillow Talk Edition, where the women are the main events. Signing off, Mr. Yusuck.
LunaKage.
Come see us at Youmacon. Please.
Do it.
Support my events. Good night.